Opening up the UFC 294 fight card, we have a legitimate banger. This could be a featured prelim fight. This is a fantastic fight. We got Bruno Silva taking on Shara Magomedov. Bruno Silva, 23-9 overall, 2-3 in his last 5. He's coming off that loss to Brendan Allen, taking on Shara Magomedov. This guy is undefeated at 11-0 with 10 knockouts. We know Bruno Silva by now, right? This guy's a very good striker. He does have some solid BJJ, even if he doesn't always use it. He can absolutely knock your head off at any moment with one single punch, or even implement a grapple-heavy game plan. He took down Alex Pereira twice in that decision loss, and that was just a couple of fights ago. Although he does have some great hands, you're going to see he has a negative striking differential. He does get hit very often, and we are starting to see his chin fade a little bit. Brendan Allen was able to drop him, submit him. Gerald Meerschaert essentially did the same as well. He dropped him. And he's taking on a very, very dangerous striker in Shara Magomedov. This guy looks wild as hell. And he is wild. I mean, first of all, that right eye is fake. The beard, the hair, looks homeless. Comes out, phenomenal striker. He's going to come forward. He's going to use the kicks, use the punches, set up that incredible kickboxing technique of his. He is an accomplished striker. He has been competing in multiple striking martial arts since he was a teenager. He's insanely powerful. He's fast. He will mix up the striking techniques. Takedown defense is actually okay. His takedown offense is non-existent. He is not a wrestler. That beard implies that he is a wrestler. He is not a wrestler. You're going to see the last name. You're going to see the country. Not a wrestler. All striker, but a very good one at that. And the reality is, I am very confident in Shara Magomedov. Frankly, do I not have... Here we go. I got the slides backwards. Frankly, I think that these odds are actually pretty decent. He opened at a minus 300 favorite. He's now a minus 240 favorite. And I agree with that. If anything, it could be a little wider. The reality is, we watched Bruno Silva get dropped by Gerald Meerschaert, get dropped by Brendan Allen. If they're dropping him, Shara Magomedov is going to put him out, and that's just the unfortunate reality of the situation. Bruno Silva is a guy that I love, a guy I've bet on in the past, and a guy I have trusted in the past with my money, but not this time. Jakey boy, what do you think?
Yeah, still really soaking in this moment for me. It's been nice. I really am surprised. 99.3% European is it's pretty wild. But yeah, Shara is a very, very good striker. I know a lot of people are going to harp on the fact that, level of competition, he hasn't fought anybody. That's how it's going to be for most regional people. I mean, that's just the way it is. When you come through a regional scene, and especially when you're not like in a country that's like well known for like well-rounded mixed martial arts, you're gonna run into people that aren't very high level, and your goal and the job is to beat all those people. Guess what? He has beat all those people, but when you watch him strike, you can tell, he hasn't, the level of competition isn't there, but the striking looks clean. I mean, you said it perfectly. I mean, he's a very, very clean striker. I don't think he's as wild as what you kind of alluded to. I think he's a pretty...
I meant no. When I said wild, just like wild looking, like he's a wild dude.
He's a wild dude.
His striking is technical.
Yeah, and I mentioned it to you, and for the longest time, I literally thought that this guy was fake. I still, for some reason, I think that this guy is fake. I saw the TikTok start emerging like 6 months ago, whatever it was, when there was word that he was going to come to the UFC. I thought they were AI generated. I mean, you look at this guy and you're like, this guy looks like a creative character. Like if you're coming out, like you want this scary Russian to come to the UFC, this is what the AI would generate. And he lives up to that hype in my mind. Bruno Silva is going to be live in this matchup, but he's going to be live in the way that most people are going to be live. When you get to that 170, especially the 185, 205, 265, everybody's going to be live to knock somebody out, right? They're all big dudes. They all swing. They can all knock people out. And that's going to be Bruno's chance is get in those car crash situations. And he almost did that versus Brendan Allen. I mean, he got in those situations and he had those a couple shots where it's like, oh, is Brendan Allen hurt? If Shara comes in and thinks, I want to show out, first fight of the night, I'm a UFC debut, and I do get wild, and I do get in the face of Bruno Silva, he might catch one, and maybe he does get knocked out. But the way I watch Shara fight is he seems like a pretty technical guy. He'll kind of take his time, and if he takes his time, Bruno eventually will make a mistake, and the shot should be there. Bruno seems like he's kind of been, ever since he was basically kind of known as the guy that didn't get knocked out by Alex Pereira for a while.
Yeah, that's what most people are saying. Oh, he's so durable. Not anymore.
And since then, it seems like he's gotten sloppier and sloppier with the striking. I think this is probably one of his last fights in the UFC. I think Shara comes in, if he takes his time, he should find the opportunity. I think maybe the value here might even be like in a second round, kind of takes his time in the second round, finds a finish. But I'm definitely on the Shara side in this. I actually got it for minus like 190. So I feel pretty good about that. His money line.
I've got a couple of parlays going. I'm not overly exposed to any one fighter, but I do have Shara in a parlay. I think he's pretty safe. So let me just address. That's a very common theme I'm seeing in the comments section of my video on We Want Picks, and then your quick picks video here on Picks Nation. He's fought nobody, regional people. Let me walk you through. First of all, his official MMA record, 11-0. He actually has 17 fights under his belt. But some of them have modified MMA rules. I don't know what the modification was, but regardless, those are not on his official record. He's beaten the piss out of those people as well. And if we look at the actual fighters that you guys are saying are regional bums, he just beat, I'm not even going to try to attempt to say this guy's name, McCall. He just beat this dude last December. He is 21-5. He beat a dude 16-4. He beat a dude 27-21.
But everyone's going to say that
a guy who's 9-2.
Their records are padded as well.
Okay, I mean the reality is like
you can't please anyone.
Yeah, like
everyone fights regional bums. I mean, there's regional bums everywhere. You have to fight them.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Your first fight's going to be, Alex Pereira, and you could argue Alex Pereira fought regional
bums. Nobody makes their pro debut in the UFC.
Couple people have. Anyway, I agree with you. I think Shara absolutely gets this done. If we didn't see Brendan Allen drop Bruno, if we didn't see Gerald Mearshart drop Bruno, it'd be a little bit different. But we did see it. I think $8,600 in DraftKings Fantasy, probably a discount, probably worth it. This isn't a pick your side. One of these guys is going to get knocked out. Yeah, one of them will get knocked out, but in my mind, it's a 90% chance that it's Bruno Silva. And I love Bruno Silva. I picked him to beat, who did he just beat? The Hawaiian. Brad Tavares. I picked him to beat Brad Tavares, and he did. So, Char's, both of our picks, are you going to put him in your DraftKings lineup at 8,600
Yeah, this guy could end up being, I think the value is there just because it is a debut and people are a little bit worried about it, but he could be, there's two people that could end up being like the best value on the card in both DraftKings and Moneyline. I mean, he's one of those rare ones. I mean, everyone on this card is just so inflated at this point that he could have the best value.
No, I completely agree. You're building your DraftKings lineup. I think he makes some sense. If you don't know what DraftKings Fantasy is, I promise you it's a ton of fun. You could literally play for free. You could play for a couple of pennies. You could play for tens of thousands of dollars. And we'll teach you how. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, become a member. It's only $10. And then click on More in the menu and then Courses. There's a whole beginner's guide. I promise you it's a ton of fun in all seriousness. That's actually what the precipice of We Want Picks was. And doing all of this. I started We Want Picks in 2016 as a written blog talking about who you should put in your DraftKings lineups and stuff. Then I had my daughter and just kind of let it sit for a little bit. And then COVID came. Me, Jacob, a few other people were playing DraftKings Fantasy. UFC was the only sport back, and it was a ton of fun. And we're like, we should make a channel about this. So then we
should make a channel.
Your idea. And then honestly, part of the inspiration to doing that, here's a little shout out to the fellas up north, was, what the hell's their name? Oh my God, Fight Night Picks. Because I would be doing my research to build my fantasy lineup, and I came across them. Oh, look at that. Oh, they have a video podcast, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So then we started doing the same, and now they're shutting down. So really, it's crazy. Crazy world out there. WeOnPicks.com, click become a member. It's only $10 a month.